All right, I am Joseph Ward here with Neighborhood Medical Center. We are back on FAMU campus on the set Fridays. We're always here on set Fridays, and we have this lovely young lady. Tell us your name,
I'm Jenna Tavares.
Jenna Tavares, and we're gonna ask her a couple questions about safe sex and HIV. So the first question we always ask people is, what does HIV stand for?
I believe HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus.
Well, your belief is correct. Okay, hey, we're gonna give you a prize because you like one of the few people got that right. So thank you, thank you. So, and with that being said, we know what HIV is. So, how often do you think people should get tested for HIV or other STDs?
I believe they should get tested every 3 months.
Every 3 months, and you're actually correct because we know the HIV, the antibodies take about 3 months to show up in the person's body. So you on point with that. So, it's college student, you're here in the college campus. We know people need to use condoms. Everybody doesn't use condoms. So from your experience and the information and things you hear, what do you think is like the most popular condom that people use on this campus or in the city?
Like the brand?
Yeah.
I think Trojans, either Trojans or Magnums are the most popular ones.
I kind of figured you was gonna say that. So why do you think that the Magnum or even Trojans are the most popular condoms?
I honestly don't know. Some people say that they just have a better feeling. Other people, they just like it because, that's what they're supposed to use.
I think it's the second one. I think a lot of people know they don't have real good commercials, but the street branding is very, very, very good. Okay, now we appreciate your time. We know you don't have a lot of time, but we appreciate your time. And just what words of encouragement would you give to people about getting tested and knowing their status?
I would just say it's very important so that everyone can remain healthy and, do things that they want to get done. Of course, you can do things even if you do, but it's just important to not spread to other people.
All right, we appreciate your time and thank you. We'll be back with the next one. All right, we are back with some more of our safe sex interviews. So, can you tell the people your name and your classification?
I'm Wendy. Some days I'm a junior, some days I'm a senior.
Hey, some days I'm old, some days I'm young, so it's all good.
Get it.
So the first question we're always asking everybody is, what does HIV stand for?
HIV stands for human deficiency, immunodeficiency, immunodeficiency virus.
Well, hey, you was off a little bit, but you back on. You know it. So human immunodeficiency virus. You know what she's talking about. Don't let the slip up fool you. All right. So we know people are having sex in this city. People having sex on these campuses. How often do you think people should get tested who are having sex?
I would say as often as possible, but at least 3 to 6 months.
At least 3 to 6 months. And one of the things we're telling people is, especially for HIV, getting tested 3 to 6 months. It takes HIV antibodies 3 months to show up in the person's body. So with that being said, so we know what HIV is. We know how often we should get tested. Let's talk about condoms,
Let's talk about it.
and we got our condoms in the background. And people either use condoms or they don't. From your experience as a student here on campus, what do you think is the most popular condom that people are using or talking about?
The pull-out, because they don't use condoms. But
Well,
they
let's
like
be
to
honest.
They like to use Magnums for the aesthetic. Sometimes they use Trojan, but most of the time they don't.
Right. So do not, and I repeat, do not use the pullout as your primary means of safe sex. And we know people love these magnums, but if the magnum isn't for you, look at my face. Look at her face. If the magnum isn't for you, don't use the magnum. Why do you think this condom became so popular amongst just like college students and black people, period?
Because TLC was putting them in them sunglasses back in the day, and then people wanted to start posing with them on Instagram and using them. Yeah, that's why, for the aesthetic, for the vanity, commercializing condoms where they commercialize sex.
Good point. Good point. Hey, if you're going to use it, just make sure it's the condom for you. But at least you are using condoms. That's good because we do want to encourage people to have safe sex and all these things. So just generally, what do you think the general idea on this campus or people your age range, what's the general idea about safe sex? Are people wanting to engage in safe sex? Are they talking about it or just going through life and just having sex?
I think they're just going through life aimlessly having sex with people. I think they think that it brings them some sort of clout and not HIV or some other STD they can get. But I don't think the conversation as a community is being had. It's such a taboo topic outside of like music that promotes hypersexuality and usually not safe sex.
We need to take up with us. Them some good answers, and you thinking about it, and that's important because everything that affects us because we learn more about ourselves and about the world outside the houses than we do inside. But I do think parents, before y'all send y'all children to college, teach them about safe sex.
Please.
All right. So tell people your name again and your Instagram handle so we can shout you out.
My name is Winsy Wilson. You can follow me at Sincerely Winsy. Y'all see I be giving y'all love notes and whatnot. Remember, safe sex is great sex. Use that latex because you don't want that latex standing on latex.
Bam. There you go. There you go. She did it better than the dude did it. There you go. Hey, we out of here. All right, Joseph Ward, I am back. We're back on the campus of Florida A&M on the set, and I'm here with this gentleman. What's your name?
Zay.
Zay. What's your classification here at FAMU?
I'm currently a junior. I'm a junior transfer studying computer science.
Junior transfer, computer science. One time for Ian, computer science. So, first question I'm going to ask, because we're doing this about safe sex and things. Do you know what HIV stands for?
Yeah, it's human immunodeficiency virus.
Bam. Look, we're so happy about that because we've been asking a lot of people. Everybody don't know, but human immunodeficiency virus. So, who taught you about HIV?
It's kind of just one of those things that you hear about on like TV, but me personally, I went and looked a little bit further. I was like, okay, this is what it is. This is how you get it, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Well, that's what we like. That's what we like. People doing their research, making sure they know. So, do you know how often people should get tested if they're trying to prevent themselves from getting HIV? If they're sexually active, how often should they get tested?
No.
Okay. So, if a person is sexually active, let's say they're not in a committed relationship, we want them to get tested every 3 months. If they're in a committed relationship or whatever type of relationship, they call it 3 to 6 months. If they're married, we'll say once a year. So yeah, that's stuff you could pass to your friends. Just making sure if you're having sex every 3 months, you're getting tested, or every 3 to 6 months. And make sure every new partner that you're getting tested. So as a college student, and you're a transfer student, but you've been in many different college atmospheres, what's the idea around condoms? Like, what's the most favorite condom? What's the most popular condom? What condom are especially men gravitating toward the most?
Men, personally, I feel like they gravitate a lot towards Trojan or Magnums.
Yeah. Why do you think they gravitate toward the Magnums?
Probably just like the branding.
Yeah, the street branding for Magnum is good. Yeah, but it's like, I know one thing we're telling people too is for the Magnums are about girth, not about length. And because I know we've had conversations with people in the past, and they're thinking, well, you got all the inches, you need the Magnum. Like, nah, maybe not need that. And so, okay, so if you had, let's say you had a chance to talk to your freshman self coming into college, and you had the chance to give your freshman self some safe sex information, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say don't go for it on like the first link. Always use a condom. Ask them if they've been tested before. Ask them how recently it's been since they were last tested, stuff like that.
Okay. Good. Because that's the stuff that we want, because those are helping to create safe sex practices and things. All right. So once again, we ain't gonna hold you too much longer. So tell them your name again and shout out your Instagram handle.
But yeah, my name is Zay. I'm already blanking out. It's been a long day.
Right. Instagram.
Yeah, but yeah, you can follow me on justcallme.zay at Instagram.
All right. Appreciate you, Zay.
Ain't no problem, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, we are back on the set. Got 2 future nurses. Tell us your name.
Kiana Walker. Shamaria Bennett.
All right, you got the old Quiet Storm voice on. So, being that you guys are future nurses, look at their faces. FAMU Nursing School, so they will be great nurses for you. So, safe sex is what we are promoting and what we're trying to learn and see what people know about it. So, let's start with the basics. First question we're asking everybody, what does HIV stand for?
HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Same thing she said, Human Immunodeficiency Virus.
All right, so start with you this time. How often should people get tested if they're sexually active? No matter how many sexual partners, if you're having sex, how often should people get tested?
Around every 3 to 6 months.
All right. You agree?
3 to 6 months. Yes, I agree.
All right. And so we're reminding people get tested every 3 to 6 months because it takes HIV antibodies at least 3 months to show up in your system. So make sure you're doing that. So as not only as nursing students, but as college students, period, you guys have immersed yourself in the scene and you've experienced college. So condoms, let's talk about condoms, because people, they're supposed to be using condoms. We don't know if they're using condoms. But from your experiences, what condoms are men or women gravitating to the most, and why do you think they gravitate toward those condoms?
I feel like they gravitate to those condoms because I feel like you should use that as a protection anyway because you never know what someone got. Also, it's very informative to also ask your spouse or whoever you're dating, questions to see if they got a STD check in the last, 3 to 6 months.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I feel as if the condom brands that's what you're asking, like the condom brands, people are mostly using like Magnums or things like that because they say it's supposed to be for dudes think they have like bigger.
The big dudes.
Yeah, that's what they think. So that's mostly what people gravitate towards. I see around campus and everything like that.
Yeah. So we want to debunk that Magnum myth because everybody is the Magnum man. You might have the inches, but if you don't have the girth, do not put that Magnum on. It's for girth, not length. All right. So for those who don't use condoms, as a nursing student, what advice would you give those students who don't? And I'll start with you this time. What advice would you give them to encourage them to use condoms and practice better safe sex methods?
I would definitely encourage people who are not using condoms to use them. There's nothing wrong with that. You're playing with your health when you're not using condoms. So I 100% advise you guys to practice safe sex, use condoms, and things like that because everybody, when they get comfortable, they stop. But it's just like, you don't know what's going on, what they're doing, what they don't know what you're doing when you're not with your partner. So condoms, I would 100% advise you all to use.
Because if you're going to get comfortable, might as well get married, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. What about you?
I agree with her. Like I was saying, make sure you just always ask your partner, when the last time they had an STD check. Condoms will prevent all those STIs and STDs, but it's still safe to always use them whenever you're having any type of sexual intercourse.
Yep. Okay, so tell us about your organization as well. You got your letters on your shirt. Go ahead.
This is the Chi Phi Beta chapter of Chi Eta Phi Sorority Incorporated. We are a nursing sorority right here on FAMU campus.
Yep. And tell them a little bit about the nursing program. You might have some future nursing prospects out, so give them a little information about FAMU's nursing program.
Yes, we're a part of Chi Eta Phi, but we're also a part of the FAMU School of Nursing. It's a great nursing program. If you're interested in nursing, I would definitely advise you guys to apply to one of the best HBCUs in the nation. And we have a great nursing program, and we are just striving for excellence. And we are excellent nurses. When we get out here in the field, you would love to have a FAMU nurse as your nurse. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, you will. So tell them your names again and your Instagram handle so people can follow you.
My name is Shamaria, and my Instagram is shamaria.b, SHEMARIH.b.
My name is Kiana, KIONNA_Lachey with 2 Y's.
You better get the underscores and you better get the Y's together. And we here with Neighborhood Medical Center FAMU Nursing Student. We got a great relationship going on. And this is how we do it. Yep. Hey, y'all make sure y'all keep yourselves safe. All right. All right, we're back on FAMU campus, Joseph Ward once again. What's your name?
Kalani.
And what's your name?
Zanaya.
All right, Kalani and Zanaya. So the first question I'm asking you all is, what does HIV stand for?
Human immunodeficiency virus. Yes, human immunodeficiency virus.
Hey, we on fire today. Everybody got that question right today. I'm excited about that. All right, so the next question is, as far as HIV testing, people having sex and how often they're having sex, how do you all think that people should get tested for HIV or any other STDs?
Personally, I would say 3 to 6 months, 3 to 5 months, depending on how many partners you're having. If it's multiple, I would say like every 2 months. That's my opinion.
Every 3 to 6 months or after every person. For me personally, I just feel like that's doing your due diligence.
Cool. Yeah. So we do encourage every 3 to 6 months, and the main reason we're telling people to get tested every 3 to 6 months is because specifically for HIV, it take the antibodies 3 months to show up in the person's body. So you're doing that range and that time, you can know your status because a lot of times people don't know their status. All right. So we know people are having sex on college campuses, and we know people they're supposed to be using condoms, and we know that we have a favorite condom. So in y'all's opinions, from y'all's experience, what's the most popular or the most favorite condom for men or women?
Okay, men love to use Magnums, but those are not good for you. Don't say no to that. I'm sorry. But, I mean, people can use them. As long as you're using something, I feel like.
Why aren't the Magnums good?
I feel like they're very drying, and then it's like some type of residue on there, so no.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I definitely agree. If you know you cannot use a Magnum, don't use it. Don't use it. But I feel like depending on the girl's body, because sometimes it can affect, the girl. I would say children's are okay, lifestyles are okay. Yeah, those are.
But nah, these are good answers because you all are actually paying attention to your
Yeah.
bodies and paying attention to everything. Because I've always told people that the Magnums aren't the best, and the smell ain't good, and that the dryness, it does dry some women out. But that's why we always try to teach. Hey, you might need to add lubricant in there. But some people, I don't need no lubricant. I'm Aquafina. Like, I ain't trying to say that, but it's the conditions. It's the conditions.
And chemicals that are put in there.
Okay, so if you had a chance to give advice to your freshman self and all the experiences that you've had, what advice, I'll start with you, what advice would you give to your freshman self to ensure that you are having safe sex and making the best decisions in people that you're choosing?
Definitely. I know in college you try to have fun, go with the flow, but definitely make sure that you're vetting every single person that you're with before you start to get intimate with them. Yes, that's something that the boys are going to push for a little bit faster, but it's okay to take your time, chill, say, nah, I'm good, be on some relaxed stuff.
Cool.
I agree. I would say don't feel pressure to do anything. Always make sure, hey, do you have a condom? If you don't, well, then it's not tonight then. Also, making sure, like, you're asking, what's your status? Do not be afraid. Like, if you feel like they're going to hurt you, you don't need to be around them. So really just, knowing their status, asking those questions, and being honest and truthful with yourself and going to get tested. Don't be scared.
I like y'all. Y'all on point. Y'all know y'all stuff, and the way you think about it. I'm happy that you're critically thinking about what you're doing. Because one thing we always tell people to stay safe is you need to pay attention to how you have sex and understand that how the ways that HIV is transmitted and things like that. All right. So one more time, tell us your name and then shout out your Instagram handle so people can say something to you.
Kalani at KH135.
And I'm Zanaya, ZA.NIAAAA, 4 A's.
Y'all better get them A's right, all right? Thank y'all. We'll see y'all later. Appreciate y'all.